Chosen one, this moment is not a coincidence. Your soul was drawn to this video because the heavens whispered the same message to you 7 times. The number 144 didn't appear before your eyes for nothing, and the prayers of 33 prophets did not fall upon you by chance. You are one of the 144,000 chosen, and your presence here is a divine sign. This message was sent to awaken the secret that has been resting within your heart. What you are about to hear are not just words, but divine vibrations that will sink deep into your soul. If these words are touching you, leave your heart in the comments so the heavens can witness your testimony. Because when you write, another soul will awaken. Now prepare yourself, for this video will illuminate your path. Those who recognize the signs of God know that nothing is random. That's why your being here is already a miracle. Family, our voice is rising. We are walking toward our first 1,000 subscribers. If this message speaks to you, press like, subscribe to Chosen Archangel, and comment, "I'm part of this mission." You are not looking at another video here. Not another message, but this one is important. This message that you are currently reading is a divine transmission, a spiritual alert that has been set from the throne room in heaven. There is a voice coming from God, and it is resounding throughout the entire planet. A significant event is about to take place. Not only in the news, not only in governments, not only in the weather or the economy, but also in the spirit realm, in the unseen, and in the realms that the majority of people are unable to enter, but you are able to do so because you are a chosen one. Because you are spiritually aware, whatever is going to happen to you. Dates such as the 15 ND, 16 RD, and 17th of September are not typical dates. There is a divine action scheduled to take place on these 3 days, which have been marked in heaven and sealed in the spirit. A lockdown has been announced by God, not out of fear but out of a sense of spiritual urgency. These 3 days will serve as a turning point for the entire world, but especially for the remnant, the selected ones who have been concealed, purified, and readied, and who are now being summoned to rise. Heaven is about to open. The earth is moving, and the adversary is having a nervous breakdown. Something is causing a disturbance in both of these domains. There are going to be occurrences in the physical world that will shake up systems and reveal deception. It is anticipated that there will be a manifestation of grandeur, truth, and divine alignment in the spiritual realm. Some people will refer to it as chaos, but those who have been selected realize that this is divine order. We have been anticipating this moment for quite some time. At this very instant, the last will become the first at this very moment. Those who were turned down will be called out. The underappreciated will be brought to the forefront. God is changing the course of events. It is now time for the miraculous reversal. This is not merely a warning from God. His goal is to place you. This has nothing to do with fear. The topic at hand is faith. This has nothing to do with panic. The issue at hand is power. You have been summoned into a position of divine authority. A connection is being made between you and your assignment. It is happening that you are becoming aware of your authority. As a result of the fact that once these days have passed, nothing remains the same. You will be able to see well. Activation of your spirit will take place. No one will be able to dispute your objective. However, before we proceed any farther, let us take a moment to halt. Put that like button to use. As a prophetic act of faith, please subscribe if you haven't already done so and comment the number 99. The divine order, the spiritual awakening, and the alignment of the kingdom are all represented by that number. It is not only typing that you are doing when you remark on it. This is a declaration that you are making to the universe: I am chosen. I am ready. There are a lot of people who will scroll away because they receive what is coming. Stay with me until the very end. There are a lot of people who won't take this seriously, but the reason you're still here is because your spirit is aware of it. I am sending you this mail. In your prayers, you have been asking for clarity. You have been pleading with me to give you a sign. It is over now. This is a message from the sky. This is a response from the earth. And God is saying, get ready. Something big is coming. and I chose you to walk through it. In this heavenly hour, God has announced an urgent spiritual lockdown taking place from the 15th ND to the 17th of September, 2025. It's not just a matter of dates on a calendar here. These are holy moments that have been encoded in the timeline of heaven. During these 3 days, those who have been selected will experience a holy pause, a spiritual quarantine in which God will gather his children closer to him in order to protect, purify, and awaken themselves. This is not an incident that was caused by humans. This is a commandment coming from heaven. You are being called upon by the Supreme Being to enter a state of heavenly silence immediately. There is no symbolic meaning behind the urgency of this lockdown. In a literal sense, there is a cry for you to physically remain indoors, away from the noise, chaos, and diversions that come from the outside world. Despite the fact that the outside world may continue on without any awareness, a momentous event is taking place in the domain of spirits. You are need to retire into your sacred area, just as Moses reached the summit of Mount Sinai by himself. Heaven is writing something into your future, and the only people who will be able to accept it are those who are obedient to this calling. There will be no consequence for this lockdown. That is the preparation. It is not that God is isolating you in order to imprison you, rather, he is doing so in order to refine you, much like a seed that is buried before it emerges into life. At the same time, you are being hidden away by the divine. The rest of the world will not comprehend what is taking place to you, but you will be aware of it. In your own being, a spiritual transformation is taking place. You have not been overlooked in any way. You have been intentionally chosen. This 3-day period, from the 15th ND to the 17th of September, is not arbitrary. They are the coordinates of the breakthrough you are looking for. This set of dates has been encircled by fire from above. You are being given a meeting with fate at the same moment that other people are scrolling through time without realizing it. You will mark these days as the beginning of your spiritual elevation and look back on them with fondness. It is not always the case that a breakthrough appears to be thunder and lightning. Occasionally, it is a hushed murmur in the stillness. When God places his fingerprint on your heart, there are times when there is a crushing quiet. Expect profound changes on the inside, the breaking of old chains, the emergence of fresh clarity, and the replacement of panic with calm throughout these 3 days. There is something that God is working deep within you. And your sole responsibility is to sit quietly and wait for something to come to you. Consider Joseph, who was incarcerated in the vicinity of the palace. Imagine Esther in the room where she was getting ready for the crowning ceremony. These days are the time for you to become ready. The silence should not be resisted. It should be regarded as holy ground. A breakthrough is not going to happen for you. It is already in progress. When it comes to astrologers and numerologists, even the most experienced ones are in awe. In addition to what may be predicted by charts and codes, something is taking place. It is impossible for logic to adequately explain the way in which the heavens are moving. These vibrations in the spiritual realm are causing confusion among the learned and illuminating the truth for the lowly. God is not constrained by the calculations of humans. His timing defies every conceivable pattern on earth. During certain dates, the spiritual frequencies that are present are not typical. Because they are divinely tuned, they are arranged in the courts of heaven. The tremble is being felt by those who study patterns, numbers, and stars, but they are unable to identify the origin of the tremble. The reason for this is that God himself is moving. Furthermore, as he moves, even the skies respond with awe and reverence. The divine plan is superior to any and all predicted outcomes. Because you are a part of that divine mystery, you are the chosen one. The signs are not being followed by you. Now, you are turning into a sign. Due to the fact that you are marked, these dates have been marked. While other people are observing, you are being roused from your sleep. Avoid the pursuit of explanations. Pursue the person who was responsible for the shift. There is a cosmic reset taking place across the entirety of the cosmos. Moreover, regardless of whether you are aware of it or not, you are at the heart of it. This is not accidental in any way. There is a recalibrating, shaking, and aligning of destinies taking place in the spiritual realm. People who have been chosen will experience a realignment of their identity, relationships, callings, and purpose as a result of this. The previous version of yourself is coming to an end. There is a new one on the rise. This reset is happening for more than just you. It is about your family history, your community, and the children you will have in the future. Your obedience over the course of these 3 days is causing a generational shift in the situation. It is you who is becoming the break in the chain, the first person in your family tree to answer the call in a manner that is entire, unreserved, and without apology. That should not be taken lightly. Your capitulation will change the course of history. Yes, it might give you a sense of disorientation. In divine resets, you could find yourself questioning your sanity, but that's exactly what happens. A departure from the usual is made in order to make room for the remarkable. Take a seat in the enigma. Participate in the reset. You will not be annihilated in any way. Heaven's blueprint is currently in the process of reconstructing you. This forthcoming lunar eclipse, which will take place on September 7th, 2025, is more than just a heavenly phenomenon. Specifically, it is the manifestation of what starts on the 15th ND and 17th of September. Even if the eclipse is a sign, the transition is starting right now. During these 3 days of divine lockdown, God is preparing the groundwork for that heavenly event that will take place in the future. In the absence of sound, the future is being written. What is the significance of this to you? As a result of the fact that your spirit is following the heavens, you will experience feelings that make no sense to you. Dreams, visions, and emotional waves are all examples of spiritual downloads. It is not a random occurrence. It is as if they are getting you ready to enter the next phase of your life. When the moon begins to appear in September, it will expose what was previously concealed. However, the revelation will now take place in private. These 3 days should be used to align. You will not need to look for signs from the outside. Take a moment to be still and pay attention to the things that God is stirring within you. Your click is not small, it is part of a movement. Help us reach 1,000 voices by subscribing, liking, and leaving your word of faith in the comments. During the eclipse, whatever begins in silence will shout loudly to their audience. A new spiritual orbit is about to be activated for you. If you find that your feelings are rushing through you like a tsunami throughout these 3 days, you shouldn't be startled. It's possible that one moment you'll feel extremely high, and the next you'll be deeply contemplative. Emotional instability is not the same thing here. It's just a spiritual cleanse. The things that are no longer a part of your soul are being flushed out by God. Injuries from the past may reappear. Feelings that have been buried may surface. Allow them to do so. Stay still and don't run. Do not conceal yourself. These are the times when heaven is performing surgery on hearts and souls. You are not disintegrating into dust. The healing process is taking place from the inside out. Your feelings are a sign that God is putting His divine hand exactly where it needs to be. Your energy levels may fluctuate, that is true. You will feel completely weary one moment and then tremendously alive the next. Spiritual alignment is going place at this very moment. Treat yourself with empathy. When it is necessary, rest. Pray to hydrate your spirit, and drink water to hydrate your body. Thank you. Within the presence of God, let your soul to breathe. It is possible that you will start to experience physical experiences that are exceedingly difficult to describe during these holy days. Your hands are shaking, you may feel tingling in your chest or spine, and you may even experience slight tremors in your legs. It is not a symptom of fear or illness that these happen. These are the natural reactions that the body gets when it is exposed to a higher spiritual frequency. Even the human body reacts when what is in heaven encounters what is on earth. It is evidence that your spirit is in communion with the divine that these manifestations have taken place. There is also a possibility that you will experience heightened sensitivity to light, sound, and feelings. You could be moved to tears by a song all of a sudden. An emotional response may be triggered by a recollection. As a result, the soul is becoming more pliable. God is removing the abrasiveness that has surrounded your heart. Divine truth is being readjusted to your senses at this very moment. Pour out all of your tears. You should follow the stillness's lead. You are not a feeble person. You have begun to awaken. They are genuine vibrations, these vibrations. It is possible that you will experience a buzzing in your soul, a current that rushes through you that makes it difficult for you to sleep, or even a sensation that your skin is alive. Be not alarmed about it. Activation of the spirit is what this is. There is more to God than just touching your spirit. In order to prepare your body to receive heavenly power, He is charging it. During this moment, your natural instincts will feel more active than ever before. Instantaneously, your inner perception will become more acute. You will have an intuitive understanding of what is appropriate and inappropriate. You will become aware of potential spiritual dangers, have a sense of being directed away from particular individuals or routines, and be drawn toward quiet, scripture, and holiness. You are not using your creativity here. It is the Holy Spirit who is adjusting the needle on your internal compass. At this very moment, your intuition is being strengthened since you are about to enter situations in which rationality will not be sufficient. The Spirit must take the lead. You will learn to trust your instincts and to lean into God's whisper rather than the cacophony of the world over these 3 days, which are similar to participating in a spiritual boot camp. Pay heed to the dreams that you have. You should jot down your thoughts. The divine manifests itself in every aspect of existence. Keep in mind, however, that instincts need to be rooted. Be careful not to allow this heightened awareness be accompanied by anxiousness. Establish your footing in the presence of God. Devote some time to worship. Keep a journal of your emotions. The Word should be opened. By doing so, you are able to root your instincts on the truth rather than in fear. Within the confines of this holy lockdown, you are protected, and directed. It will be more difficult than ever before to avoid distractions. It is possible for temptations to appear in the form of comfort. It's possible that you'll find yourself drawn to binge on entertainment, rehash conversations that are detrimental to your mental health, or entertain thoughts that pull you away from serenity. Distractions like these are not chosen at random. They have been dispatched in a calculated manner to impede your ascent. Maintain vigilance. Something tremendous is being conceived within you, and the adversary is aware of this. He will thus send anything in order to prevent you from entering the birthing room. The lies that he will murmur to you are things like, "This is pointless," or "You're not really chosen." Don't believe them. Stay focused. Stay inside physically and spiritually. Set boundaries for these 3 days. Turn off unnecessary media. Log out of platforms that cause comparison or chaos. Protect your space. The battle is not always outside. It's often in your attention. Don't let small distractions rob you of big breakthroughs. Guard your focus like it's sacred because it is. You may experience unexpected bewilderment, attacks in your mind, or odd pressure. This is not some type of paranoia, rather, it is the resistance that comes before release. However, here's the good news: these days are a form of spiritual combat. Heaven is opening new doors, and evil is trying to lock existing ones even more tightly. Be in alignment with the instructions that God has given you. Do not try to fight battles that He has never asked you to fight. Just be still and know that He is God. He is fighting for you. When you feel overwhelmed, remember this: the war has already been won, and you are protected. Your weapons are not carnal, they are spiritual. Your worship is a sword. Your silence is a shield. Your obedience is a war cry. Chaos often precedes creation. Before the world was formed, the earth was formless and void. But God spoke into the chaos. He is speaking into yours now. This battle is not to destroy you. That is to prove what's been planted in you. You are not a victim. You are a warrior in rest. These days are about divine separation. God is pulling you away from what is common so He can prepare you for what is consecrated. This is a season of cleansing, not because you're dirty, but because your destiny demands it. You are not called to blend in. You are being prepared to stand out in purpose. You may feel lonely. You may question why you're being pulled away from familiar circles, routines, or even loved ones. But know this, every great calling comes with seasons of separation. Think of David in the field. Think of Jesus in the wilderness. Solitude precedes the spotlight. Allow God to wash your spirit, mind, and body during these days. Repent freely. Release what doesn't align. This is not about condemnation. It's about preparation. You are being singled out because your anointing is not typical. You were never intended to lead a typical life. Your spiritual atmosphere is your responsibility. During these 3 days, maintain a high, holy, and guarded vibration by playing worship music, reading scripture out loud, lighting a candle, sitting in silence, and meditating on the promises of God. Your environment should feel like a sanctuary because heaven is visiting. Prayer will become your anchor. Speak to God honestly. You don't need fancy words, just real ones. Tell him your fears, your desires, your hopes. In return, he'll pour out clarity, direction, and peace. There's a divine dialogue waiting to happen. All he needs is your availability. The vibration that you retain today will carry over into the next season of your life. Let it be pure, powerful, and appealing to God. You are a temple. Protect what enters your ears, your eyes, and your thoughts. Don't just fast from food, fast from fear, from comparison, and from uncertainty. This is your place, protected like treasure. There is a new you waiting for you on the other side of this sacred pause. The person who emerges after the 17th of September will not be the same person who entered on the 15th of September. You will rise with the clarity, strength, and authority that can only come through divine refinement. This is your spiritual resurrection. Instead of looking for fireworks, look for fruit. Watch how your thinking shifts. Notice how your peace increases. Feel how your heart opens. These are the signs of rebirth. The you that was once bound by fear is being replaced by a soul rooted in purpose and divine identity. The enemy tried to bury you, but he didn't know you were a seed. These 3 days are the soil, the water, and the light. Let God finish his work. Your rising is not just for you. Hear this clearly. This is not just a spiritual suggestion, it is a prophetic instruction. God is not giving a soft nudge, rather, he is issuing a divine demand. It is for people who have been waiting to see your light shine. Your suffering served a purpose, and that purpose is now being disclosed. The 15th through the 17th of September are days that have been set aside by heaven for your transformation. Your obedience is the doorway to your next level. If Noah had disregarded the warning, he would have drowned along with the rest of the people. If Moses had disregarded the call, Israel would still be in servitude. God always warns before he acts, but only those who are obedient see the fulfillment. Do not disregard this moment. This is holy ground. Take off your shoes. Take off your pride. Take off your distractions. You may not understand it all. You don't have to. Just trust that God's instructions carry supernatural weight. Honor this invitation with reverence. You're not just being protected, you're being positioned. Heaven doesn't waste words. When God says lockdown, it's because something holy is being released. Chosen Archangel is not just a channel, it is a calling. Subscribe now, press like, and write a comment so together we can reach our 1,000 soul family. Finally, Chosen One. Stay home. Stay focused. Stay aligned. The lockdown is not only spiritual, it is physical. Your home becomes your ark. Don't step out unless ordered by God. Your obedience is your covering. Your quiet is your safety. Heaven is creating a shield over you in your home. Create space for heaven to dwell. Anoint your doorposts. Speak life over your family. Invite God to take over every room. These 3 days are not about fear. They're about divine preservation. You are not being hidden to be forgotten. You are being hidden to be protected, prepared, and positioned. Soon you will rise. The eclipse will soon reveal what was prepared in secret, but for the time being, you should remain tucked in the arms of God. Your obedience in this moment is giving birth to your next miracle. Do not take these days lightly. These are not ordinary times. You are not an ordinary person. You have been chosen, and your rise has already begun. Right now, heaven is not just watching you, it is speaking to you in the stillness of these sacred days. The divine blueprints that God is downloading into your spirit are not ideas that are on the surface level. Rather, they are strategies that you have been waiting for a long time and that will shape your future and realign your path. God is providing you with clarity that will cut through confusion like a sword, but you must be still enough to receive it. Think of Noah. He did not make any educated guesses about how to construct the ark. Rather, God provided him with precise measurements. The same thing is occurring to you. That business plan, that ministry vision, that family reconciliation, it is not coming from your brain. Rather, it is being written on your heart by the hand of God. Pay close attention. These downloads will not always come loudly. Sometimes they come between your breaths, in moments of quiet surrender. Do not dismiss what comes to your heart in these moments. Journal every whisper, sketch every vision, and write down every instruction. This is not imagination, this is impartation. The ideas that come to your spirit during this time are sacred assignments, not random thoughts. Do not dismiss what comes to your heart then. After this lockdown, you will realize that you carry methods that no one taught you, and people will ask you, how did you know? Because your spirit is being tuned to hear the frequency of heaven. You will simply respond by saying, God told me. This is the beauty of divine downloads. They do more than just equip you, they also establish you as an authority figure. The noise of the world is beginning to fade, and with that, your spirit is beginning to become more attuned. Some of you will begin to prophesy, dream with divine accuracy, discern spirits, and heal with words. These are not new gifts, they have been placed in you for a very long time, and now God is calling them to the surface. This is the season of spiritual sensitivity that you are currently experiencing. You may start to notice things that you have never done before, such as energy shifts, unspoken truths, and heavenly whispers in your sleep. You may feel a stirring in your belly when truth is spoken, or you may feel fire in your hands when you pray. These are not coincidences, they are signs that your gifts are activating. Multiplication does not mean pressure, rather, it means grace to do more with divine ease. Where you once had difficulty hearing God, now you will be able to hear His voice clearly. Where you once had doubts about your gift, now you will see results that prove your calling. However, it is important to remember that gifts grow when they are nurtured. Steward your gifts with prayer, humility, and use. Do not compare your activation to that of others. Your gift is unique and tailored to your assignment. Dickie, you are not a copy. You are a vessel, and God is pouring Himself through you in ways that you could never have imagined. The spiritual inheritance that is within you is about to overflow. Although you may feel to be physically isolated, on a spiritual level, you are more surrounded than you have ever been. Heaven has sent angels to protect, guide, and minister to you even while you are sleeping. In these holy days, the air around you is not devoid of divine activity, rather, it is brimming with divine activity. The Bible states that angels are ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. Hebrews 1 verse 14. This is you. Angels are not myths, they are messengers, soldiers, and protectors. There are angels that have been assigned specifically to you. Not just in general, but for this season, this transition, this elevation, you are being protected from dangers that are seen and unseen for that sudden turn that you avoided. Some of you have already sensed their presence. A chill, a whisper, a calm in chaos. That is not your imagination. That is your covering. That toxic connection that terminated, that dream that warned you, these are not coincidences, they are heavenly interventions. Therefore, walk through this lockdown with confidence. You are not unsecured. You are not alone. Heaven has placed a supernatural security team around your life. Rest in the knowledge that this is the reality. You are protected by something that is more powerful than human strength. What appeared to be a delay was actually a divine redirection. The opportunities that were lost, the doors that were shut, and the betrayals that were committed were all not in vain. In fact, God is about to use every single obstacle as a stepping stone for your elevation. What the adversary sent to break you, God is turning into bricks to build your next season. Think of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, thrown into prison, forgotten. Yet every single moment led him to the palace. His story didn't end in the pit. Neither will yours. The things you cried over, begged to understand, they were all setting the stage for your rise. Your pain had purpose. Your detour was actually the scenic route to destiny. There will be a moment, and it's coming soon, when you look back and thank God for what didn't work. Because what you thought was rejection was actually redirection. You were never denied. You were being positioned for better, for higher, for holy. God specializes in flipping scripts. Your story is turning, and your name is about to be called in rooms you've never entered because you stayed faithful in places others gave up. Get ready. Your elevation is already in motion. You cannot bring an outdated operating system into a new realm, which is why God is providing you with a spiritual upgrade. These 3 days of silence are a divine installation in which heaven is removing what is no longer beneficial to you and replacing it with more profound wisdom, sharper discernment, and enhanced authority. Just like a phone needs to shut down to update, so must your soul. Stillness is not laziness. It is a divine necessity. In silence, your spirit gets recalibrated. You begin to hear God more clearly, feel Him more closely, and operate more boldly. Stillness sharpens your spiritual senses. This upgrade may feel uncomfortable at first. You will be asked to let go of old thought patterns, relationships, and coping mechanisms. However, you should have faith in the process. What you are letting go of cannot survive where you are going. The new you cannot be weighed down by the identity you had yesterday. When the upgrade is finished, you will move differently. You will speak with clarity, walk with purpose, and pray with power. The version of you that emerges after these days will be unrecognizable to who you were. Because God never upgrades without transforming everything. You're not just being protected, you're being positioned. God is shifting you into visibility, but not for vanity, for impact. You have a global assignment. Your voice, your gift, your calling, it will touch people beyond your current reach. What's happening in private is preparing you for public power. Don't be surprised when opportunities begin to find you. Platforms you didn't apply for. People who seek you out, doors that open without explanation. This is heaven's strategy in motion. God is aligning you with influence because He knows your heart is aligned with Him. But this influence will require maturity. You must steward it with humility. Not everything is meant to be posted. Not every elevation is for applause. Your greatest impact will come from authenticity, not performance. Influence isn't about followers. It's about fruit. Be ready to speak when called, to lead when asked, and to serve when unseen. This repositioning isn't about fame. It's about fulfilling destiny. God is raising you up not for show, but for souls. The patterns that kept you stuck are being shattered. Cycles of doubt, fear, procrastination, and compromise, they are losing their grip. God is not just freeing you from sin. He's freeing you from spiritual stagnation. This is your personal exodus. Some of these cycles are generational, others are emotional, but they've all done the same thing. Kept you beneath your potential. That ends now. These days of isolation are a breaking and a birthing. God is cutting what previously smothered you. Let the old go fully. Stop attempting to heal what God is trying to bury. The new you can't walk in freedom while lugging yesterday's chains. It's time to relinquish the apology, the guilt, the what-ifs. This mountain has been traversed for a sufficient amount of time. The cycle has come to an end, and you, beloved, are about to experience what it is like to live a life of freedom. You may feel pressure like you have never felt it before. You may experience internal fire, mental strain, and emotional weight. However, you should know that you are not being destroyed, rather, you are being refined. This fire is not a punishment, rather, it is preparation where God is removing the excess in order to reveal the gold. Don't run away from the fire, sit in it and allow it to do its work. If you feel the need to cry, do so. Think of how gold is refined through intense heat, not to damage it but to remove impurities. This season is the same. The fire is sacred. It is purging you of bitterness, fear, pride, and every lie you believed about yourself. What ends up being left is pure power. The word spreads through you. Share this video, subscribe to Chosen Archangel, and let us rise together until we hit 1,000. Worship through it. The hotter the fire, the higher the value of what comes out. You're being prepared for something heavy, something holy. When you emerge, you won't just shine. You'll carry weight in the spirit. Because what survived the fire can survive anything. Heaven watches faithfulness, not popularity. And your obedience in these quiet hidden days is unlocking uncommon favor that cannot be earned, only granted. God sees you praying when no one claps. He hears your yes when it's costly, and He's rewarding it. Favor doesn't always show up as finances. It shows up as peace that surpasses understanding, as sudden opportunities, as supernatural solutions. You won't have to beg or barter. Doors will open that were sealed shut before. Your name is being mentioned in rooms that you have never entered. This is not because you worked hard, rather, it is because you remained faithful. This is how favor operates. It seeks out those who are obedient and lifts them beyond the realm of logic. Continue to show up. Continue to surrender. Your consistency is about to collide with God's generosity. This season is not just building you. The winds of life will come again, but this time you won't bend because your roots are digging deep into the soil of God's presence. You are becoming spiritually unshakable. The same triggers won't work again. The same lies won't stay. The same attacks won't faze you. You are becoming spiritually unshakable. Why? Because your faith is being forged in fire. You're not surviving anymore. You're standing, firm, bold, unmoved. This is the power of hidden seasons. They grow spiritual giants in secret. The next time life tries to shake you, you'll smile and say, I've already been through worse, and I'm still standing. Congratulations, chosen one. There is a heavenly pen writing the next chapter of your life, and it is named victory. You have shed tears over the previous chapters, which include betrayal, delay, sadness, and loss. You are no longer fragile. You are becoming a pillar, and the world will soon depend on the strength that God has developed in you. Nevertheless, God declares, I am the author and finisher of your faith, which means that He has the final say. Furthermore, He is not finished with your story. He is about to give it a plot twist that can only be explained by grace. Your past does not disqualify you, rather, it positions you. God is not intimidated by what you have been through. In fact, it's the very reason He's choosing to rewrite your ending. You see, every page soaked in your tears is becoming fertile ground for miracles. The sorrow will become a soundtrack to your testimony. You are walking out of the valley and stepping into a chapter where joy returns, strength rises, and doors open. When God rewrites a story, He does more than change your circumstances. He transforms your identity. Where you were once the rejected, now you are called beloved. Where you were once the victim, now you carry the mantle of victor. It's not just about new events. It's about becoming a new you. A version of you who walks in boldness, healed from shame, full of fire, and unafraid of the future. Prepare for divine reversal. This chapter does not finish in difficulty, rather, it concludes in supernatural success because the ink that God writes with is dipped in mercy and sealed with victory. People who once ignored you will now require what you carry. Environments that once drained you will now be within your sphere of influence. Chosen one, remember this, heaven never sends a word without purpose. If this message has stirred your spirit, let it shine brighter. Press like so the light spreads to others walking in darkness. Subscribe to Chosen Archangel so you never miss the next divine revelation. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Your testimony may be the very spark that awakens another soul. Until we meet again, stay covered by the wings of heaven and walk boldly in your calling.